Hi, I'm Renee Leon.
And I'm Edgar Leon.
And together we own Aurora AutoPros in Aurora, Colorado.
Well, my business was growing and I needed somebody with experience of how to manage a bigger business.
We wanted to avoid being one of those shops where the owners grind and grind and grind for years and then have nothing to show for it after 10 or more years. We also know that a lot of mistakes get made, but we wanted to hopefully, we're fine to make the mistakes, we just wanted to make sure they weren't as costly or as painful as they can be. And so we were looking for someone to help guide us.
Yes, we did try another coach at the beginning of our adventure, but unfortunately it didn't work out. It was more of a chemistry issues between our style and him.
Yeah. With that original coach, we are really grateful for what we learned, but it wasn't a good fit for both of us.
So one of the biggest concern was obviously at the beginning money. But when I find out about the value in the need that I had at that moment, it was a little bit, desperation moment where I was, and money, that was not an issue at that moment. And I decided to make the phone call. So, and since then, I don't regret making it. I don't regret had made that phone call.
I'm gonna answer this one as well.
Okay, hers will be better.
My main concern about working with Greg, well, I had never met him, and I was worried that I was going to dread the weekly meetings. And I also was worried that we would have so much homework and there would be so many expectations that it would put a lot of pressure, the kind of pressure that it was more stressful, and worried that we would fail it. But actually the opposite of that has been true. So I look forward to our meetings every week. He keeps us accountable to our goals. And we both know that Greg is going to want an update and on all of our projects and goals from the previous meeting, and that spurs us into action. And so he's the ultimate accountability partner.
Well, one of my favorites is the dashboard. Having to set goals and seeing those goals being accomplished. The guide that I have now to follow those numbers, it gives me a huge advantage to run my business.
And for me, the three biggest benefits that we've gained is we feel like we have a third team member, someone who's genuinely invested in our management, or on our management team. And Greg is really gifted in remaining objective and sharing possible solutions to challenges that we are not always able to see because we're so close to it. So he has that distance that he can see things a little bit more objectively.
But the third one I can say that for me also is important is that there's times that I just need somebody that I can talk to, somebody that I can share my frustration, somebody that I can just, that I can count on, and instead of making it hard for me, it's going to help me to see the big picture and to really help me to relax sometimes. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I would say my third thing, because I only said three, that my third thing is that Greg really strikes the perfect balance of cheerleader, of mentor, and a cohort. He's definitely part of the team.
Well, our business has grown, I'll say almost double, now that we have somebody that we feel accountable to. And has been about 2.5 years now that we've been working with Greg. And for our business to grow almost double, that makes life a little bit easier on the personal level.
Life with now that we have Greg on our team, so as a husband-wife team, we're really only accountable to each other, and we can only lean on each other for ideas. Now that we have Greg as a coach, it's allowed us to verbalize questions, our frustrations, and our successes with him. And he in turn helps us to listen more fully to each other, and that makes us more intentional. Just having that third person is really helpful.
You know, again, this guy knows a lot. He's very smart, and sometimes he makes you feel that he got your back, and I think just to know that there's a sense of ease in a way that that I have not just a coach, but that I have a friend that I can count on.
Yeah, I've only met Greg once in person, but through all of our coaching calls, it really feels like he knows us. It feels good to be understood and supported. And when we have a win, we are both excited to share the news with Greg. It's a huge asset.
Well, you know, first of all, he has the best interest on you. He will make sure that somehow he tailor his information and his style to what you need and who you are. That's the best take that I can say. And if you're open to do the work, and if you're willing to put the time and the energy into it, there's a guarantee that you are going to see the benefits of it. Positive benefits.
I would say that having Greg has been the best decision that we've made in our business so far. The result of his coaching has led to business, financial, and personal growth for both of us. And yeah, you have to be willing to work, but Greg does a really good job of making sure he only gives you what you can handle when you can. He only challenges us to a certain level. So if you are in the position, for anyone that is in the position to take on Greg as a coach, to add him as a coach, I think you would be foolish not to.
There you go.